this is going to be a very patriotic episode. It's going to be very, very Canadian, because as you know, I am Canadian. So, what's more Canadian than a Tim Hortons? Well, beavers, but I already did beavers. But what other animal is, just as Canadian as maple syrup and Tim Hortons? I'll tell you what. It's the moose. Yeah, we're going to be doing the moose exhibit today, but you already knew that. You saw the title of the video. But yeah, we're going to be doing the moose. And, have the red and white everywhere, because as we know, moose are Canadian. Canada claims moose. This is all kind of a inside joke with myself, but there is a guy on the Planet Zoo subreddit who was arguing with me saying, "Oh, moose are more associated with Scandinavia. They're Sweden. Everyone thinks moose. They think Sweden." And no, not at all. Moose are Canadian, through and through. So when they came out in the North America Zoo update, of course I was thrilled. Now that's not to say moose don't live in Sweden, but they are much more associated with North America than Sweden. Canada especially. But yeah, so I've already built the exhibit, not decorated, but have it outlined, and I have this little area, for the keeper talk and the view of the exhibit. I was gonna have a nice marshland here, but moose are only taiga animals, and they don't have the cattails as part of their habitat, so that's gonna be a little tricky. But I also have the area around decorated, very Canadian, with the two types of maple trees in the game. Very Canadian. But yeah, so time to make an exhibit for this very, very Canadian animal. Let's get into it. So there we go, a very Canadian exhibit built. So here we have the shelter, of course, and it's a similar style to the Beaver. Most of it off camera, I need to add some more detail to it. And there's the keeper hut from the Beaver area that I copied over. You know, all the maple trees, you know, making this area feel as Canadian as possible. And here we are. So that's a better view than I get at my local zoo. They're always in the far off corner of their massive exhibit. My local zoo, they're at like the hardest to reach part of the zoo because it's down this massive hill. But yeah, so I did my classic style of having the smaller foliage to the front and the larger foliage to the back. And I also made it a bit more forested and up on a hill in that back area. And I was thinking, you know, since this is a very Canadian animal, a very Canadian exhibit, I'm gonna make it look like the Canadian Shield, which is, if you don't know geography, it's like the oldest rock formation in Canada. And it's like exposed rock from like the beginning of time, essentially. And it's right in the prime moose habitat. And somewhere I've been before, so, you know, I was able to kind of draw inspiration somewhat. Yeah, then, so you get a pretty good view of them, you know, even though it's such a big exhibit with a lot of trees. They're such big animals, I feel like. There's 4 of them. Shouldn't be too hard to spot. And over here, now we have kind of the marsh area. I didn't make it too deep water because I figured they're not going to be deep diving anyways. Still give them some water because, you know, moose are actually very aquatic animals. The Arctic foxes are like a mile away and I can still hear them. Like, look how far away they are. That's a tip. If you're getting Arctic foxes, no, it's going to be loud. But anyways, right by the exhibit, you know, as I showed before, very Canadian, a Tim's and Canadian flag. And coming up to this outlook again, we'll see how it looks. So you can kind of get like a straight shot down most of the exhibit for your sight lines, and you know, when they're going to be in the marsh area, it'll be a very good view of them. Or even to the forest up on the hill. But yeah, so that is gonna wrap it up for this episode. This very special Canadian episode. So if you liked it, you know, leave a comment, like the video, possibly subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. And I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully. And as always, have a good day. Take care.